welcome our next finalist to the stage. From Silver Creek High School, presenting CredX, please give a warm welcome to Abhinav Gorrepati.
Hi, my name is Abhinav Gorrepati, and this is CredX, Financial Education, Financial Power. Now, as many of you know, financial literacy is an incredibly big deal. Becoming financially literate at an early age can help set you up for success later on in your life. But did you know that almost 1 in every 5 students across America lacks basic financial education? And almost 75% of all teens and students suffer from a lack of financial confidence? Now, you see, I've always been super passionate about investing and personal finance. And after realizing how big of an issue financial literacy was for my own peers, friends, and family, I realized that there was an opportunity to take something that I loved and benefit other people. And that's how CredX was born. CredX is a gamified financial literacy platform that offers engaging and informative financial education on topics through an interactive and fun form factor. You see, CredX teaches complex, important financial concepts through simple, straightforward, almost TikTok-style lessons and videos. CredX makes learning about finance a relatable and fun experience through interactive games and activities, customizable learning paths, and tons of unique rewards. Now you see, CredX's platform primarily emphasizes 2 main things, and that's user engagement and user stickiness. CredX's platform relies on engaging reels, gamified activities, and short-form quizzes to increase and maintain user engagement. And we rely on streaks, daily rewards, and customizable notifications to increase user stickiness and keep users coming back for more. By doing so, CredX makes learning about finance a fun, simple, and relatable experience for today's younger generations. Now, CredX operates through a B2B business model, meaning that even though our end users are high school and college students who want to learn about finance, we actually market our platform to educational institutions like high schools and universities, who then distribute our platform to their students. Basically, the way it works is each teachers, educational institutions like high schools and universities essentially purchase or license CredX's platform from us, and they distribute the platform to their students. This means that our end users are high school and college students who are between the ages of 14 and 22 who want to learn about personal finance. But our paying customers or our distributors are educational institutions and teachers. Now, in the future, we want to promote our platform through strong, lasting partnerships with credit unions and banks. By establishing 2-way partnerships with credit unions and banks, we're not only opening up countless new revenue channels for us, but we're also leading the way. We're also encouraging credit unions to lower their customer acquisition costs and market towards younger audiences through possible advertising opportunities. Now, we also want to connect with our target audience through popular social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and more. And we hope that this, combined with user referrals, will allow us to expand our digital outreach and attract new users. Now, as many of you know, there are tons of other financial literacy platforms out there. But what really separates CredX from the rest boils down to 2 main things, and that's our unique distribution model and our various unique engagement mechanisms. Now, as I mentioned before, CredX is one of the only financial literacy platforms out there that operates through a B2B business model. And we are the only financial literacy platform out there that actually targets high schools and universities. That, combined with the unique learning experience we offer through our gamified activities, short-form content, and unique rewards programs, is what truly makes CredX unique and special. Now, I'm personally very passionate about app development and web app development. And I'm incredibly passionate about personal finance and financial literacy. I'm experienced with app prototyping and building apps through platforms like Figma and Flutter. I have completed an E1 Entrepreneurship course, and I'm Intuit Design for Life Level 1 certified. But the question is, how does CredX generate revenue? Well, as I mentioned before, CredX generates revenue through a licensing model, where we essentially sell licenses to our platform to educational institutions who distribute those licenses to their students. Now, our one unit is a single license, which grants educational institutions access to up to 50 students. And we charge educational institutions an annual rate of $150 per license. Now, our total cost of goods sold is $2.50, and this is basically money we spend every year per user in order to maintain the servers necessary to store and authenticate our user data. This gives us a contribution margin of 98%. Now, our fixed expenses are around $75,000 a year or $6,000 a month. This is basically money we spend to promote our platform through social media and other marketing channels, as well as hiring developers to produce new content and updates. Now, this gives us a break-even units of around 500 licenses a year. Now, our initial development expenses, or startup costs, are projected to be around $65,000. And this is basically money we need to hire developers to build and design our initial app framework. Now, we already have a functioning web app that all of you can view through our QR codes on the back of our business card or the QR codes on our slides. Now, we want to continue to develop a fully functional web-based platform and eventually expand to a fully mobile app. And we also expand our growing database with new financial modules, new categories, and new topics for our users to enjoy. And lastly, we want to establish partnerships with financial institutions and expand our business model to possible B2C. This is CredX, financial education, financial power. I'm Abhinav Gorrepati. Thank you.
Great presentation. Judges, you now have 5 minutes for questions.
All right, I'm going to sound like a broken record here to the audience and to my colleagues. You are speaking my language, right? When you talk about financial literacy, you did a great job. But I'm curious to know, how do you compete with large financial advisory firms like Edward Jones, who develop their own content and curriculum, and they're offering it for free, and particularly targeting students like yourself?
Right, so essentially my answer to that question would be we do rely a lot on the whole gamified aspect of our app. Essentially, our entire app is centered around the idea that current financial education isn't good enough, which means that basically, they're not necessarily offering an experience that today's younger generations actually relate to. And it's clear based on the statistics we've seen that it's not really working. Our solution, or our platform, essentially aims to change that. Again, the whole gamified app learning experience, the idea of daily rewards, customizable notifications. Other platforms don't really offer that, and that's really what does set us apart.
I have a quick question. Abhinav, great presentation. I work in tech, so if you have the answer to this, you're going to make me a very rich woman, so I love this. So my question is, look, students, high schoolers, college students, ripe, great audience. But the attention span, as we can see from social media, is waning by the day, by the minute. And so how do you plan to keep students engaged with this content on the platform beyond gamification? What if they go elsewhere? They go back to Netflix or whatever. What do you plan to do?
Right, so user engagement and user stickiness are the two biggest things. Again, I'm sort of piggyback off my previous answer, but the whole gamified experience, it's meant to basically say that learning about finance is not a drag. It's not something that's boring. It is entertaining to the point where students will want to come and do this on their own. That's the level of gamification that we're talking about. That combined with the fact that we have daily rewards, there are leaderboards, you compete with each other. We are heavily centered around the rewards program, so students are getting rewarded for their learning. And so hopefully, or not hopefully, but that is enough to sort of say that they are willing to take their own time to actually learn about finance through our platform because of those features.
Nice, thank you.
Congrats, this was awesome. And I hope the app is downloadable for people who are not just students, because I'd also like to learn a little bit. One question I had was, given you have the app that's live, what have you learned from having it be out there in the wild, and what did you change about your business plan so far from what you learned?
Yeah, so when I say live, we do have almost like a demo version. We don't have as many activities enough to gain tons of metrics or analytics. I would say the biggest feedback I've gotten is that just the whole idea of gamification, that's what the users enjoy the most. It's not I've heard people say, it's not even just finance, you do this for math, you do this for anything, I'm willing to listen. And so I guess just focus more on that gamification aspect and just diversify. I mean, even if you want to do beyond finance, investing, just keep diversifying. The more topics, the better. This model of learning does work, is the feedback I've gotten. So yeah.
Thank you.
Abhinav, I love the idea, and when he said that you're speaking my language, literally, you are speaking my language. Financial literacy, I think, is one of the most important things that we could focus on right now. Now, coming from a big bank, one of the things we look at is customer acquisition costs. And I kind of see this as an opportunity for us to acquire more clients early on that will stick with us over time. So have you thought a little bit about how you could partner with big banks as opposed to trying to take on big banks?
Yeah, that is a great question. Yeah, that is a great question. Definitely, I did hope to touch it on the marketing slide, but really, when we say I want to establish partnerships with banks and credit unions, it's not just that we open up revenue channels for ourselves, but again, as mentioned, customer acquisition is a really big deal. We are a financial platform for high school and college students, sort of that that prime age demographic where everybody's getting their first bank account. Everybody's picking that one bank they're going to stick with for the rest of their lives. So yes, we definitely have thought about that. And again, as we expand eventually from B2B to B2C, that is one of our main ways of generating revenue. It's by essentially selling advertising to banks. And it really does, it is really useful for them because again, lowering customer acquisition costs is a really big thing. And I think CredX's platform is the perfect way to do that. And so I definitely have thought about that, yes.
So there's only 20 seconds left, so I'll be quick. How did you focus on 14 to 22-year-olds? Did you think about expanding it to younger?
Yeah, so I feel the reason I do definitely want to expand to other demographics, even younger and older in the future, it's just that a lot of other apps out there do target young adults, but I just don't see enough of apps targeting younger generations. So that's why I decided to do that. Yep. Thank you.